Grand Rising. Hello, hello. Grand Rising, Cinnamon. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Christy. Hello, hello. Card behind again today a little bit. Grand Rising, Flower Power. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, April. Hello, beautiful. Sky Sense. Boy, I went down a rabbit hole last night. I'm going to tell you all about it. Holy moly. It was a good one. It was a good rabbit hole. It's not what you think either. Thank you, Christy. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button. That helps the algorithm here in YouTube. It is 2025, first day in 2025. 2025 is going to be a miraculous year. Miraculous year. Aw, we love you, Christy. Rising, Victoria. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Woo woo. Whoa. Big attacks happening already this year, though, I see. Poor Jessica lost her mama on last night. It's very sad. We'll sending her lots and lots of love and healing for her family. Her mama was 70, so she wasn't, she wasn't super young, but she wasn't that old either. But it's hard losing your mama, for sure. I know, I've been through it. I'm sure that's going to knock Jessica off kilter for a little while. We'll see how long it knocks her off, right? Maybe it won't. Maybe she's strong enough to know that death is an illusion, that we just change our energy, that her mama will always be with her. Alright, let's see, with that and that. Weird. I get one though. Yes, Jessica in the Fire Warriors group. Hello, Trina. Hello, Irish. Grand Rising and Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year, angels. Yes, Jessica in the Fire Warriors group lost her mama last night to, I believe, a heart attack. She was 70 years young. So yeah, the attacks are coming already, right? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It's always hard to lose such a close loved one. I believe Jessica is pretty spiritually adept, so she should be okay. Yeah. I mean, as okay as you can be, right? When your mama changes her energy. Yep. So send her, we send her our prayers today, Jessica. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Happy New Year, 1st of January. We made it. And 2025 is going to be absolutely remarkable. Here's Rainbow Butterflies. And if you guys think of a song that you want on this, let me know too. Look, turn the page is what the what Spirit's bringing us. First thing, turn the page. Turn the Page was my my song at my graduation back in 1988. It was Turn the Page. Let's see how many people. Yeah, we'll wait till we get a few more people in here to tell you the rabbit hole that I went down last night. It was pretty interesting. And it all ties in together. Everything that we are learning, everything all ties in together. It's crazy how it ties in. Stand By Me, yes, absolutely. Yep. Stand By Me is on there. All right, we're going to do our cards for the new year. What messages do you have for us for the new year, Spirit? The Chakra Wisdom card is our heart chakra. Yes. Compassion and forgiveness. I have compassion for myself and for those around me. I let go of anger, resentments, and torments from the past. And I do not give my power away to those involved. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. Yes, we are absolutely, Cinnamon. I forgive myself for things I feel I could have done differently in the past, and I remind myself that my response could not have been any more evolved than it was at the time. I am compassionate to those in need, as this shows them that they are not alone. I practice this by listening, sharing, understanding, and being of service. Yes. New world's coming. Yes. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Yaya. So early there. I hope you got your cup of coffee or your cup of tea or whatever it is that wakes you up in the morning. Here we are on the road again. Here we are. Up on the stage. Here we go. Playing the star again. Turn the page. Yep. Here's our healing energy oracle. The first healing energy oracle cards of the year. Guidance. Amazing, right? In times of uncertainty, I ask God to guide me to the light in my being. Oh, that's awesome. You have snow. Awesome. I am directed to doors that will open inner freedom to me and step forward in trust. I release my fate to God, and my faith is rewarded. My faith is rewarded. Yes. Hello, Amy Lynn. Hello, beautiful angel. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. One step at a time. One step at a time. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. One step at a time. Yes. And goodness. And there's some more heart chakra energy. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. Yes. Goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. All right. I know. She's such a trooper, right? 6:15 in the morning. My goodness. Hold on. Hold on is the next song that the universe is sending us. All right. Here is our Rose Oracle. Release the petals. Again with release the petals. Transformation. Death and rebirth. Death of the old world and rebirth of the new earth. Shedding all change. Releasing the petals. I love that. Healing is happening. Healing is happening. 2025 is the shift from the dark to the light. Yes, Amy Lynn. Aw. You're not broken. Oh my gosh, we got this yesterday too, didn't we? Or we were reminded yesterday that we're not broken. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. It's safe to soften. Trust the process. Let's go. Boom. Boom. Let's go. The rose thread, inner soul, inner call, soul led. The mystic, living courageously. Yes. This is our inner call. What we do every day is our inner call. Oh, wow, Amy Lynn. Wow. That is such a good way to shed emotion, right? Your journals. Here is our Work Your Light Rainbow. Work Your Light Rainbow for the new year. Birthing a new age. Birthing a new age. Grab that code right there. Grab it. Yes. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. This is what we're doing. We are birthing a new age. The age of Aquarius is upon us. Hold on for one more day. Hello, Kimberly. Grand Rising and Happy New Year. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Your guidance is divinely guided. The Akasha. Yes. I've been thinking about doing the meditations we used to do too. The live meditations again. In YouTube though. I'm not going to do them in TikTok. Unless the platform changes. But yeah, Spirit has been on to me to start those up again soon. So we have awakening also, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, a new way of being, integration, awakening. Yes. We are awakening to our true selves, being authentic. It's very important nowadays. Yes. All right, here's our fairy card. Inner child. Yes. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Right? Yes. Embracing your inner child this year. And every year. Ahaha. Here's our animal for the day, and it's the butterfly. Yay, look at that. Ahaha. I love that. Rebirth again, reminded that we are in the new age, the age of Aquarius. You can reinvent yourselves. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Yes. Hello, Excalibur. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Grand days and many excellent experiences to you all, beloved soul tribe. Peace. Thank you. Thank you, dear brother. Butterfly. I love it. I love that we got the butterfly today. Yes. Yes. Watch a kid's film. Play in nature. Skip and dance in the new year. Yes. Happy New Year, Teresa. Happy New Year. Here's our angel card. Our angels of abundance say, face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Yes. Oh my goodness, those fireworks going off last night. My poor dogs. Oh my goodness. My female Buttercup. Oh my goodness. She wouldn't let me put her down. She had to be in my arms all night last night. And I was going down a rabbit hole, which I'm going to tell you guys about in just a moment. So I was sitting at my computer and she's right in front of me, in my blankets, all snuggled up. Blessed unrest is our awakened dreamer. Blessed unrest. Even in the moments of dissatisfaction, be grateful that your preferred experience is being highlighted in your awareness, elevated above the loud crowd of possibilities. Now your desire is undeniable, so you can move more powerfully in the direction of your dreams. Blessed unrest. Blessed unrest. Yes. Love it. Okay. Now we have our butterfly for the day. Your mom woke up? Oh. Yes, my fur babies too, Christy. I am valuable. Many people are thankful for my presence in their lives. Yes. I am valuable. Okay. Come as you are. Come as you are, the universe says. All right. And the last one is our Ascended Master for the day. And it's charity. Prayer and contemplation. Prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. This is something that we're going to talk about today. So that I got this card is amazing. Ask and you shall receive. But there's more to it than just asking. In whose name do we ask? In God's name? In Jesus' name, right? When we are doing our asking, ask in Jesus' name. It makes it even more powerful. Hi, Steffi. Happy New Year, darling. Yes. Really, Irish? Yes. This is part of the, yes, this is part of the rabbit hole I went down yesterday. Okay, so it all started, and I'm going to tell you about this. It all started 2 years ago when I got a personal reading from Forest Fairy, and she told me that I had a lot of symbolism from John Dee. John Dee. All right. She also told me that a big figure that came out in my reading was Solomon. So at the time, I went down the Solomon rabbit hole, which was very interesting because Solomon was basically a demon whisperer. Okay. He had control of demons, and he had a bunch of demons build a temple. And like I said, he was a demon whisperer. Okay. So that showed up in my reading, but also John Dee. And I didn't know a lot about John Dee. I knew he was Rosicrucian, but I didn't know a lot about him. But he has come up for me. And especially a symbol had come up for me. And I did some research on this symbol. And it turns out that this symbol has to do with John Dee. So I'm going to share this symbol with you because I was like flabbergasted. Okay. And what this symbol means. So in this symbol is a half moon, a circle, actually 2 circles, one open and one closed. Also, an ankh is part of this symbol, and an M is part of this symbol. This is also a symbol, and this is the symbol right here. Okay. Hi, Karen. Hi, darling. Happy New Year. So, this symbol came up. Do you know what this symbol means? This symbol means Monis Hieroglyphica is the name of this symbol. And it means mystical unity of all creation. That's what it means. Mystical unity of all creation. And do you remember last week, or actually it was this week on Monday, the portal we went through with the scarab? Let me show you. I want you to be reminded. It all came together for me last night. I was getting download after download after download. So I'm going to show you this. This came up in John Dee, for John Dee too. This, the central sun, the source. Okay, so do you know what this is called? I didn't. But John Dee created this illusion. He created, and it's called the Scarabaeus flying up to Jupiter's palace. That's what it's called. The Scarabaeus, and you guys can write this stuff down and research it on your own if you'd like, but I did all the research last night. So the Scarabaeus flying up to Jupiter's palace. Dee created this illusion for a play. For a play. Now, another thing I didn't know about John Dee was he communicated with angels. And he wrote many books. And he also had a daughter named Catherine. Victoria. There's that name again. He had a daughter named Catherine. He was a Christian. So I was going down this rabbit hole, and then I was led to John the Revelator. I'm not shitting you. All this stuff came up together. So do you know what I did after that? I watched a movie on YouTube called the Revelation of John or something. Oh, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it. But it was basically the story of John. The thing was, it wasn't the story of John. It was the book of John, which is about what? Jesus. The book of John is all about Jesus's life and death. And in the end of that movie, I shit you not, at the end of that movie, it shows John, and Jesus turns to John and he says, "You will walk the earth till I come again." I was like, my mouth dropped. I was like, holy cow. Now I knew that he had done that. I knew in the Bible or something that I had read, one of the texts, that it says that he actually said that to John. The thing is, I didn't know that he said it after he came back. After he came back. So he showed himself 3 times to the apostles after he died and came back. But we all know that he didn't die, right? He escaped through the back of the tunnel. But he did go to his apostles 3 times after that. And the last time he told John that John would walk the earth. And I was like, oh my goodness, it all comes together. So the other thing I wanted to share with you all, and I wish Bobby was here because he definitely would resonate with this. But do you know that another symbol for John the evangelist is an eagle? Did you know that? I didn't. And do you know that this eagle has a halo around his head? The eagle. Yes. The eagle is mentioned in Revelation 4:7. And the eagle was also envisioned by Ezekiel. Right? Hey, Christina. Yeah. Did you know that John the Evangelist was represented by an eagle with a halo? It was. I looked all this stuff up. So that is the rabbit hole that I went down last night, and I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. All of it that we have learned. All of it that we have learned. Oh, fun, Christina. Have a beautiful breakfast. Happy New Year, beautiful. So that was all the things I found out. I'll have to make a video. I'm being asked by Spirit to make a video about this. So I probably will. Because it all comes together. In my mind, it all came together. Did it come together for you guys? Did you see? Right? So much sync. Yes. The symbolism and everything, it's all coming together. Just amazing, amazing. All right. I do have, let me see. We are going to have a message from Wisdom of the Rays, the Masters Teach, Volume 1. And this is, wow, that's awesome, Irish. Yes, and I believe that the eagles are the dragons. The bigger birds are dragons. All right. So we have been introduced to a few of the different characters, authors that are giving us these messages from the rainbow rays, the wisdom of the rays, the rainbow masters. The next one that I want to introduce you to is called Ceres and Antonius. Tonius Saltec. Okay. So it says, last but certainly not least among those of the upper management who have contributed to this volume is Commander Saltec. We're basically being introduced to the commanders of the ships that are out there. So, in some respects, he is a most pivotal member of the magnificent team of advanced overseers of planet Earth's transition, a team which we call none less than the very hosts of God, an accomplished scientist of the higher realms by inclination and choice. Soltec is in charge of monitoring and interpreting all geophysical goings-on concerning Mother Earth. Our elder brothers up there frequently refer to this planet as Earth, Shan. Okay. Hello, Betty. Welcome in, darling. Happy New Year. Possibly having to do with yet more of our historical past that has been kept from us by those dark ones in control. In any event, you will notice Commander Saltec and others using this term. Saltec reports on these geophysical matters at various higher council meetings, where there gather and confer those who monitor and guide the progress of this planet and its inhabitants. As great rebalancing adjustments to Mother Earth's organism through the likes of earthquakes and exploding volcanoes continue to escalate in response to both natural forces and man's political utilization of secret technologies about which he has little understanding. Commander Saltec and his worldwide monitoring teams are kept quite busy. So, if you happen to live near geological trouble spots, keep an eye to the nearby sky for those curious-looking cloud ships that are likely part of Soltec's geophysical team. Lenticular clouds is the meteorologist's cute term for such lens-shaped cloud-cloaked craft, even when they maintain their shape and location in the midst of gale-force winds. Aha. In an informative writing from August 27, 1992, through a receiver we shall simply refer to as Callie, Professor Saltec introduces himself thusly. So this was channeled. Okay. I am known as Commander Ceres Antonius Saltec, and I come in and onto service of the God of Light, the first cause, creator of all things. I serve as geophysicist in the Intergalactic Federation Space Command, Pleiades Sector, Earth Shan Mission, under the leadership of Commander Sananda, yes, Christ, and Commander Georgios Ceres Hatan. Names are for your benefit, as we are identified by one another with what you might refer to as energy patterns. I am fourth density life form. My present life studies and duties have been in the field of the physical sciences, geophysics specifically. Most of you consider this field to deal with geology, earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, etc. Geophysics, however, is the application of the science of physics in relation to the planet, in this case, Earth Shan. On your world, those in this field of study draw the line at such natural forces as weather, ocean currents, electromagnetics, seismic activity, and volcanic forces. We, on the other hand, expand the parameters, knowing that all forces, energies, have a direct relationship and effect upon the planet in question. For example, the spiritual energies, thought projected energies, and physical energies of all species, plant, animal, or mineral, including human, upon a planet, play a direct role in the evolvement and growth or death of a world. The planet and its inhabitants exist in a symbiotic relationship, and unless there is an equitable give and take relationship, either the planet or the inhabitants or both will suffer. So this is the reason that it is imperative that human, higher universal man, begin to realize who and what he is, and the effect that he is having upon the planet upon which he depends for his very existence. This is one of the major purposes for our attendance to your place, and why we are contacting you, Earth Shan, and educating you in the real truth of all creation. You cannot begin to understand your relationship with the universe until you understand your relationship with the place on which you live. And you cannot understand that relationship until you understand your relationship with God. Chelas. We're always called Chelas, right? We're always students. No matter even if we teach, we're still a student. It is not all nuts and bolts and scientific jargon. It is your spiritual health that is in jeopardy. And it is this illness that is causing your world to be ill also. And only Earth Shan Hugh Man has the authority to cure the illness. We can only give you the information and instruct you. Yes, we are white witches. The work must be done by you. Absolutely. No one can do this work for you, right? No one can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. We can drop hints. We can lead you to the water. We can give you some things to go on that you can research yourself, but we cannot do the work for you. You must do the work yourself. Therefore, I shall instruct you in the physical sciences, but you must understand and accept that your physical condition is in direct relationship with your spiritual condition. And that is the primary cause. You cannot cure the physical ills without first curing the spiritual ills. In other words, you have to have faith. Believing without having to see. But because believing is seeing. When you believe something and you have faith in something, you will see. Yes, have trust. If I seem to venture off what you might consider to be the physical sciences in my instructions, please follow, for I have purpose in doing so. I honor you who are coming into the light and the knowing. I am likewise honored to be in the service unto God and to you, my beloved brothers and sisters. This is a most unique time for both you of Earth Shan and us, for we are dependent upon one another to get this mission accomplished, and together we shall succeed. We of the command hold you most precious, and we consider the task at hand to be of utmost priority. Work together among yourselves with love and understanding, for it is love that is of the greatest power, and with love we shall together defeat the adversary. In some earlier comments through Dharma from June 15th, 1991, the flavor of Saltek's viewpoint reveals why I have often referred to him as the professor when introducing his writings for contact. Since my own background is heavyweight academic and scientific, I use that educational title for him respectfully. Because of the skill with which Tonios weaves essential spiritual overtones into his very well-grounded geophysical lessons. For example, Earthman can precipitate earthquakes, but he cannot control the activities very well of volcanoes. He can detonate high-level nuclear explosions within their craters or from underground placement, but to cause activity in the mountain itself, there has to be a hole opened onto the pressure caverns. This is why eruptions mean far more to geologists of the observers in my geologic survey teams than do all the earthquakes you can produce. I recognize that I am a geologist by trade, but my commission is to study your globe from that particular aspect within the whole. I could recommend nothing more important to your physical input than to get good reference material and know your world. You ones of Earth do not even know your own bodies and almost nothing about your planets. You speak of the ring of fire. Wow. You speak of the ring of fire, and yet you understand not the connections and why, for instance, eruptions in the Philippines are important. The Pacific Plate generally outlines the ring of fire. But oh, if you look no further, you are amiss in good judgment, for there is a Philippine plate which has a great impact, just as does the Indian plate, which encompasses Australia. These particular plates are impacted greatly by the movement of the Pacific Plate. Note also that the coastal areas of the volcano chain and the major western coastal fault lines are within the North American portion of the American Plate, while areas of Central America and northern South America are in the Caribbean Plate. South America is in the southern portion of the American Plate. Now, you have to look at the area of Georgia, which you will find in the Eurasian Plate, which is affected by movement in both the American, Philippine, and Pacific Plates. The magnificent, Georgia USSR, not Georgia United States. I just wanted to mention that. The magnificent Himalayas are the crumpled consequence, for instance, of an Indian plate pushing northward into and under rigid Eurasia. Do you begin to feel your education is lacking a bit of valid input? Precious brothers and sisters, you simply cannot expect to know nothing about your little world and then expect to be accepted without limits within the universal cosmic order. You, as a species, civilization of human physical beings, are still quite in your infancy. There's nothing wrong with that. It is just so unlikely that your ability at this stage of development and knowledge allows you to participate in the great federation of the cosmic experience. You grow technologically into inability to control or cope with that which you tinker. You will find your brothers in the cosmos will not be very accepting of your demands in a council wherein you do not even know the tectonic plates of your own planet. And I promise you that the ones who develop the death rays and weapons do not know anything about the working order of your globe, much less do the politicians who control every facet of your existence in your physical experience. You see, we of the command do not understand the insults to your intelligence, which you not only tolerate, but encourage. Understand is not a good word for use herein, for we do understand what is happening and what is intended by your would-be king masters. But Our difficulty is watching the lack of initiative on the part of you, the people, to stand against the insults upon your experience. We are just starting to stand up and say, no, no, you can no longer poison us. No, we will not have this. No, you can no longer hurt our children. We are just now standing up within the last 5 years or so. There have been certain ones that have stood up, and what happened to those ones? They were shot down. They were taken off the planet, right? The thing is, when we work in groups, huge groups, they can't take us all out, right? And this is what we're doing now. We are standing up as Christ conscious collective. I believe it should not have to be from an alien being that you should be gaining your education regarding these matters. It should be from your learned teachers at your universities and kindergartens. Do you not realize there is an adult within each of you trying to get out? Right? Always, always power in numbers. Hi, Lynette. Hi, beautiful angel. Hatan and Dharma are going to bring forth some very interesting information which might be worthy of your attention. You keep working with the thin person trying to get out from the overweight trap, the inner child coming into protection. No, no, no. Within each is an adult trying to get past the whole lot of the garbage, beyond the tending teddy bears. I believe Hatan will have you cuddle your constitution and not your teddy bear and binky. Haven't all of you cuddled your binky long enough? You're right. When God says, come as children unto me, he doesn't mean with binky and bunny. He means with curiosity, flexibility, and eagerness to come into knowledge with himself. He cares not about your sexual, physical, food preferences, nor other of the physicalness. You must come into knowing that all of those things are of the flesh physical experience. And you will come into maturity and knowledge, or you will linger within that shroud of discontent and restlessness. So be it. You, the people, are on the brink of allowing the puppet masters to commit particle atomic of a planet, destruction of a planet. Is it not time you gave up your binky and stopped this insanity? Yes. Yes. It is time. It is. Now that the first group of formidable contributors to this volume who come from the realm of central upper management have been introduced. So all of these all of these masters that I have introduced to you to, they're called the Rainbow Masters, and they are upper management. Okay, so I now turn to the second group, the 7 Rainbow Masters, or color ray energies from the higher etheric teaching realms. These beings are most often associated with facilitating our development along their particular directions of talent or focus, and thus color of intent. As Isu Sananda strongly suggests in the foreword to the Rainbow Masters Phoenix Journal, I don't remember if we got into the Rainbow Masters Phoenix Journal part, but we're going to learn anyway, right? It is time to lead. It is time to lead. But we've known that for a long time. We've known that all last year and the year before. right? We've all known we were the leaders. Oh, yes, man of earth, heed well the gracious words of wisdom from these teachers of the 7 rays of life, for they have come to see this journey through. They shall be known to the faithful as wonderful. They shall be known to thine enemies as death. Each has a realm of truth that you might have instructions and light of function, for you will need to rebuild and become in wholeness once again. Each represents a fragment of the whole and bears witness to the truth in guideship for you ones upon the planet Earth. They are magnificent Kohans, teachers, who will respond at a moment's call, and you must come into comfort, one with another, that our journey can be made in perfection, each with his own contribution. These teachers, Kohans of the rays of life, are your most close guides and instructors. You will place them with the archangels for level of stature, for they are the masters having ascended. They sit at the higher council with Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Zadkiel, Jophiel, Moroni, Muru, Cthulhu, Raphael, Quetzalcoatl, and others of the elder races, of which I shall not name them all, for in most instances they will not be your closest guides, for their purpose and services vary. Do not become stagnant while toying with the energy possibilities. You will know who is your guide or sends guides. It is not for you to spend a valuable time in supposition. The energies are coming ever closer and closer to your proximity, and soon you shall not miss of their presence. Also, in the Rainbow Masters, we find a short but typically comprehensive statement by Aton about these magnificent teachers. The Brotherhood of the 7 Rays are your mentors, and man's individuality comes under the forces of the great 7 rays of life. One is guided by the powerful forces at work within these rays. Each and all flow into conscious life upon one of these rays, and your life experience is influenced by the ray through which you descended. What has been most noticeable about the teachings of these great ray energies is the way they have extrapolated in their writings herein the seemingly little challenges of everyday life into major spiritual lessons. They continually point out how the surmounting of these so-called everyday challenges leads to greater clarity of purpose, greater responsibilities, and greater joy from fulfilling one's part as the hands and feet for the unfolding manifestation of Creator Source in the physical realm of planet Earth. It is just this magnificent big picture that we most often tend to lose sight of in our preoccupation with the day-to-day details of living. If we could more easily see the true value that each little challenge presents, we would view them more often with the open-eyed enthusiasm of children. Say, first learning to walk or tie their shoes. With that said, I now present the Masters of the Rays. So, El Mori is the first one we're going to learn about. We're going to talk about tomorrow. We've already learned a lot about him through his through the book that I read last year, which was The Path. Sheila's in the Path. So yes. Right. Book. Oh, tomorrow's your birthday? Oh, darling, that's awesome, Christy. Well, happy early birthday, darling. Yeah, I probably will not be at book club tomorrow. I do have a eye doctor appointment tomorrow, and I'm going to have chunk, so I'm going to be a little busy, but you guys go on and I'll read the chapter. I'll be with you in spirit tomorrow for book club. Let's see. It's 10 o'clock. We have 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Let's see. What can we get into for 11 minutes? Da, 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 da. Okay. Okay. I don't know. The email with the link. The email with the link for what? The email with the link for what? Oh, shoot. Oh, darn. That's right. Yeah, I'm not going to be home. I've literally got an appointment at 2:20 for my eye doctor. So I'm not going to be able to. Yeah. This is the baby dragon that I made. I put lepidolite on it in it too. Yeah. I don't know what Lynette wants to do. Lynette can open a Zoom. What you guys will have to do. I'll have to get with Lynette and give her all you guys's. I don't even think she's in our Discord. She can open a Zoom, but it'll only be for 45 minutes and she can't record. She's not going to be able to record. I don't think Lynette's on Discord. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, my husband made we made the eye appointment, so I have to do it. I need new glasses. My glasses are broke. Yeah, April's not in Discord either. You could always do, all right, you could always do TikTok. You could always do it in Discord, in TikTok. And then she'll have the recording if she does it in TikTok. Yep. And then you guys can read and everything. Yeah, do TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, it's up to her. If she wants to leave it till Friday, we can do it in Zoom. If not, do it in TikTok because it does the same thing. Then you could do it in her room. As long as all y'all know it's going to be there, you guys can be in TikTok. Yeah. I don't know if Lynette's in here. I don't think she's still in here. We didn't have it last week. We didn't have it last week because of the holiday. Yeah. Christy, give her I can either give her I'll send her a message. And that way she can message all of y'all in TikTok that usually do book club. But TikTok will work. Well, we got 6 minutes. Yeah, you didn't You didn't miss anything. Yeah, TikTok's your best bet for that. That way you guys can all read and everything. And you'll have the recording. Okay, so all right, we got 6 minutes. Yeah, do that, Christy. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't even think of that. My mind was not thinking. Yep. All right, we're going to talk about the ultimate truth. This is a message from Aurora, real quick. Greetings, friend. I'm delighted to share our wonderful Galactic Federation's most recent communication. So we are your family of light from the Galactic Federation. We are coming to you with the message of truth. The truth will set you free. As you know, our presence here has been no secret whatsoever. We have been here all along. We are pleased to report that the light forces have reached the point of critical mass and are ready to perform the final stages of the operation. We are here to assist you during this transition phase so that everything goes as smoothly as possible. We have come for the purpose of helping humanity raise its consciousness, heal its illnesses, end its wars, and clean up its planet. The Prime Creator has given us permission to make ourselves visible and gradually interact with the surface population. Yay! That's awesome. Our ships can now appear as you do on Earth, although they do not require roads or railways, as we use anti-gravity propulsion systems. Our crafts are built according to the laws of science that apply throughout the universe and take into account the energy requirements for space travel. Each of our civilizations have developed advanced technologies that enable us to travel between stars, explore other star systems, and communicate with each other over vast interstellar distances. We also have learned how to tap into the unlimited free energy available throughout the universe by combining electromagnetic and gravitic forces into a single unified field. This allows us to produce unlimited quantities of power whenever and wherever we need it. In addition, we have learned how to heal all diseases, regenerate damaged tissue and organs without any side effects or negative repercussions for the individual. We have even learned how to transfer consciousness from one body into another so that we never have to die again. We are here now because we care about you and your planet. The Galactic Federation has been observing your world for millennia, and we have witnessed both the good and the bad that affect your lives on a daily basis. This includes both natural and man-made disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, fires, famines, wars, disease, epidemics, and terrorist attacks. But it also includes amazing scientific breakthroughs such as space travel, cures for deadly diseases, and technologies that allow you to communicate instantly with everyone. Also, we know that you are in a very difficult stage of your development right now because there is a lot of uncertainty about the future direction that humanity will take as a collective species. You are facing many challenges in your lives, from global warming and climate change to wars, poverty, hunger, disease, and ecological disasters. It will also require a complete overhaul of your civilization because the current system of financial control that is enslaving you is based on greed and selfishness. The only way to reach a higher level of consciousness is for you to learn how to share with others instead of trying to accumulate all the wealth for yourself. This may sound like an impossible task, but it's really not as hard as it sounds. All you have to do is find a way to share the resources that are available on your planet with everyone else instead of letting a small number of individuals monopolize them for their own personal gain. Imagine what would happen if every person had access to an inexhaustible supply of pure water, clean air, healthy food, and unlimited energy. You would no longer need money because you wouldn't need anything at all. You would be able to live a life of abundance and freedom. This is the future of humanity, the world we were destined to create. There is a consciousness that has permeated the entire cosmos. It is a consciousness of oneness. Everything in all that is connected to everything else. There is no separation. There has never been separation, and there never will be a separation. You do not live in a static universe, but rather one that is constantly changing and evolving. You are evolving as well, though you may not see it yet. Most importantly, you are being given an opportunity to align yourselves with your Creator by accepting unconditional love into your hearts and sharing it with all life. Your future depends on how you choose to respond. Our purpose is to bring truth and enlightenment to the people of the earth and to help them raise their conscious awareness through love so that they may realize the true nature of their reality and their place in the universe. Thank you. We love you dearly. We are here with you. We are your family of light. We are the Galactic Federation. Aho, Aurora, ambassador of the Galactic Federation. All right. So they're here. They're showing themselves. They've been here all along, and they are ready to perform the final stages of the operation. So yes. Good news. Good news, and it's snap time. See that? Perfect timing, always. Always perfect timing. All right. Here's our butterfly. All y'all are on this butterfly, and you lend your energy and to the creation of the new earth, and you also empower yourselves. This is our past loved ones, always with us anytime we think of them. This is our room, and Force Fairy did this for us. This is the dragon energy, the priest, the pan, the joker, the mother goose. We are safe in here. XOXO, the Ankh, the rabbit, the magic, and time travel. This is time travel. And this is also our room. Steffi did this for us, and this is to remind us that we're always watched over. Always watched over. And this is who we are. We are the rainbow butterflies. And this is the song of the 144,000. And we say this to empower ourselves because we have gratitude. We thank you, Mother Father, that you have revealed to us your protective universal light. That within this light is complete protection from all destructive forces. That the Holy Spirit of your presence permeates us in this light, and wherever we will, the light to descend. We thank you, Mother Father, that you fill us with your protective fires of love. That within this love is complete protection from all destructive thoughts and feelings. That the consciousness of Christ is lifted up in us in this love. And wherever we will, the love to be inflamed. And here's a big old lucky hug for everyone in here creating. You all are loved and appreciated and empowering yourselves. We thank you, Mother Father, that you are in us and we are in you. That through us your will is sent forth on wings of power. That your purpose is accomplished on earth as it is in heaven. And that through us your light and love and power is manifest to all the sons and daughters of mankind. We are the light. We are the love. We are the truth. We are. And divine love is working through us here and now to create the new earth. Yes. This is our healing chain, and all these people have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with crystal healing, or with prayer. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael, have him connect his energy with all these people, and we are going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. All right, thank you. And if you hear in the background, it is time that I call my power back. We call our power back. from all dimensions and timelines, so that we may be whole in this new year. This is going to be an amazing year, guys. So many people are going to realize and remember who they are because of who we are. And that is powerful. I don't know why, but my chat filter just went out again. I don't know why YouTube does that. Okay. We're going to get right into the immortal. Remember, John's there at the house. Exciting, exciting. Defeating the Dweller. This is called, remember, Joe has this thing in his head and he can't get it out. It's like a dragging him down. But John has put his hand on his head and he has soothed the Dweller. Ooh, Mexican hot chocolate. That sounds good. All right. Defeating the Dweller, Chapter 8. Since the attack, I have been racking my brain thinking of the principle that could overcome this force. I tried all the obvious ones: prayer, positive thinking, affirmations, and even the song, but nothing produced any significant change. It wasn't until I just attempted to ignore the distress and worked on the highest I knew, which at the time is the book, taking care of life's needs and attempting to say the song with intense meaning, that I noticed a real improvement. As I experienced some improvement, I kept asking what the principle behind the progress was. A number of things helped, but not one of them seemed to be the total answer. Finally, after a period of deep reflection, a word came to my mind that unfolded the principle. And what was that word? Asked John, who I felt did not need to ask this question. Yes, said Elizabeth. What is the word? You've got me curious. The word is attrition, I said. Attrition, said Elizabeth. What kind of key word is that? Do you know what the word means? Said John. Well, it seems like it is a gradual wearing away of something, she said. And how would you explain it? John said, looking at me. I replied, Elizabeth hit on the standard definition, which is basically the wearing away of a thing through friction. But the word can also imply disintegration through lack of attention. I remembered that we sometimes use the word in real estate in relation to neglected property. Property can fall apart through lack of attention or attrition. In hard times, the real estate industry complained that we lost sales agents through attrition. When salespeople did not have enough business to keep their attention, they fell away and went to greener pastures. So in other words, all you have to do is ignore the problem and it will go away, said Elizabeth. It's not quite that simple, smiled John. Isn't that right, Joseph? Oh, that's awesome. I love that, Victoria. Okay. It is, I said, nodding. Right after the attack, the agony was absolutely impossible to simply ignore. The intelligence behind the attack was vying for my attention and received 100% of it. There was no ignoring possible. I was continually forced to acknowledge the presence. So how are you applying the principle of attrition without ignoring the force? Asked Elizabeth. Here's what I discovered, I said, leaning toward her. I had no power over whether or not the presence was bringing pain. And there was no way I could pretend that it was not there. So I looked for the areas where I did have power. When I started working on the book again, it took all my strength to take my attention away from the force and place it on the writing. But even though it was difficult, I did manage to do so. When after a time I realized that this seemed to lessen the hold of the force, I began analyzing what I was doing. The answer wasn't so much that I ignored the pain in the force, because I was very much aware of it. Instead, I found that even though it was difficult, I did have power over where I placed my conscious attention. I then found that when I sustained my attention away from the negative to the normal duties I had before me, the power of the force began to diminish. This diminishing of its power through the denial of attention is attrition. When this word came to me this evening, I realized that attrition of the enemy's power through the diversion of attention was the key to its defeat. So you're not ignoring it, but just not giving it your attention. Tell me again what the difference is, asked Elizabeth, looking flummoxed. Generally, when you ignore something, you pretend that it does not exist and give it no attention at all. With this force, it was no pretending, and because it was painful, I was forced to give it some attention. But I found I could divert attention and thus take away some of its power. Somehow, it seems to feed off my attention. Well spoken, said John. You have no doubt heard the maximum energy follows thought. How do you think this principle applies? Great point, I said, as if a light bulb had turned on in my head. If the negative force is able to be the focus of my thought, then its energy can follow that thought and sustain its power. By diverting my attention or thought away from the negative and forcefully placing it upon the positive, energy will follow. For only good energy will follow good thought. Well said again, said John, smiling. But you already knew the basic principle of energy following thought along with the benefits of positive thinking. How does the principle you saw go beyond the cliches accepted by the masses? The general idea of positive thinking did nothing, I said. It was only when I roused all my will and made a decision to force the direction of my attention away from the force, bringing the principle of attrition into play, that things got better. Along this line, you might find something the master said of interest, said John. Grab the Bible again and turn to Matthew chapter 11, verses 12 and 13. I opened the Bible and read, And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. Do you have any idea what this means? He asked. I remember reading this scripture before, I said. I couldn't make a lot of sense of it. It seems to say that those pursuing the kingdom of heaven suffer violence, and violent people somehow take it away from the just. But what period of time is mentioned by Jesus? It looks like it was from the time of John the Baptist to the time that Jesus spoke those words, probably about the middle of his ministry. And was there a lot of violence during this period? Well, John the Baptist was put to death, but it seems that Jesus and his followers were able to go about in peace. So this did not seem to be a time when there was violent persecution, does it? I guess not. And have you read anything in the scriptures about violent people taking the kingdom by force during the first couple of years of the master's ministry? I don't even know if the kingdom can be taken by force, I said. If you want to check with your concordance, you will see that force and violence are not the only options for translation here. I can see why translators rendered the verse the way they did, but they were not looking at the context of the meaning. For instance, suffereth violence is more correctly rendered enthusiastically pressing forward, and the phrase by force was used by Jesus as society currently uses the phrase carpe diem or seize the day. So how would you translate it in words we can understand? Asked Elizabeth. I'll do better than that. I'll just tell you what the master said from memory with my own translation into English. You have to realize that he spoke this verse and others many times with different wordings to different groups. He said this thought dozens of times during his ministry. To get a true impression of the meaning, you have to reverse the order of the verses. John paused a moment and related the words from his own recollection. All the prophets and wise men before John dreamed, prophesied, and taught of the kingdom of God. Many had enticing visions and wished with all their heart that they could reach out and take the kingdom. But they could not grasp it, enjoy it themselves, or present it to their people in its fullness. But from the days of John the Baptist until now, things are different, for the Spirit of the Lord has descended, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Many sense the opportunity and are pressing forward with forceful enthusiasm. Those who successfully press forward are those who aggressively seize the opportunity, or carpe diem, as we say today. Carpe diem, mused Elizabeth. Now, that's a translation I can understand, especially since seeing the movie Dead Poets Society. So Jesus was basically saying that when the opportunity for the kingdom presents itself, we must seize the day, I asked. Basically, said John. What does this have to do with aiding me in mastering this evil force? Let me expand on this carpe diem idea as presented by Jesus, he said. His point was that to obtain the kingdom, or higher consciousness, we must forcefully seize the opportunity when it presents itself. Taking the kingdom by force, as the Bible says, is not a bad way to word it. Many in the New Age movement are making a great mistake in teaching that we must go with the flow. Ah, interesting. The trouble is that there are two major flows of energy to go with. The first is the spiritual flow, and only a few are attuned to that. The second is the flow of force toward matter or materialism. As far as the vast majority is concerned, this second flow is the problem, because it is by far the most powerful. Therefore, if the average seeker goes with the flow, he will flow the wrong direction, away from the spirit. The seeker must resist the negative flow and tune into the spiritual. He can only do this with the exercise of tremendous force of will. When he first seeks the flow of spirit, the registration will be weak, and to hold on to it, to increase its strength, he must carpe diem, or seize hold of the new energy with great force of decision and will. That makes sense. When he does, the more prominent flow of matter will pull hard on him, tempting him to let go of the budding new energy. Going with the dominant flow at this point leads to disaster, but going with the still small voice of the Spirit leads to salvation. He paused and looked us over, as if to make sure we were registering what he was saying, and added, but if the seeker holds on to the new energy and by force of will makes it his dominant energy, then going with the flow becomes a positive thing. Interesting, I said. I have heard that true spiritual teachers walk you all around a subject before they hone into the major point. Is this what you are doing? You speak of a true principle, he said. The reason for this is that a teacher of light always desires a full comprehension from the student. And if he just answers a question in a word, the student will fall short in his understanding. Yes. He paused again. So did I. So did I, Victoria. He paused again and said, I can see you are anxious to see how this fits with your problem. So let me continue. To move along the ladder of spiritual progression, we must set ourselves on our next step. And then, by a tremendous force of will, fix our attention and focus on the objective. This is wow. Wow. Because this is exactly what I have been doing lately, is focusing on something. I have asked the universe, and then I focus my attention on getting the answer, and I always get the answer. That was like the John Dee thing that I went through last night. It was one thing after the other. And there was some things that I left out. I just couldn't remember them at the time. But there were certain things that Jesus said in the movie that I watched that really hit home with me. Some things that we talked about yesterday in class that he actually said in the movie. I was like blown away. Blown away. It is when we absolutely set our intention on spiritual progression that we will spiritually progress, because our intention is set on it. If we go with the flow, then our attention isn't set on something. See what I'm saying? This is an aha moment for me. So he says, this is the principle you must apply in overcoming the attack you are suffering. Now tell me, what are the positive items of focus you have come up with? Focus on the positive always. Okay. I think he's talking about the list we made, said Elizabeth, looking toward the desk. I went to my desk and retrieved my notes. Here are 4 things we came up with. Tell them to me, said John. I read. Focused attention, meaning focusing intently on the light, service, love, and courage. John looked thoughtful for a moment and added, courage is more of an attitude acquired through experience, but the first 3 are very applicable to developing the carpe diem principle. By causing you great distress, the negative force lives off of all this attention it has diverted. The trick is to destroy it through attrition of its energy, forcing your attention through strength of will toward the light of the soul, to service to humankind and to the love of all. As you have found your consciousness has been seriously diverted away from these noble pursuits because of your great distress, this causes a vicious circle which continues to feed the negative. You're right, I said. Before this attack, I naturally thought of positive things, but afterwards, it has been extremely difficult. Difficult, but not impossible, said John, looking at me intently. By seizing the kingdom with violent force of will, you can force yourself to focus on those noble pursuits and starve the dark forces, causing them to go elsewhere for nourishment. This is why sleep is such a powerful healer. During sleep, your attention is taken away from the many forces tearing your body down. A good long rest can weaken these destructive forces through attrition. So when you arise, the positive energies of the body have power over the negative ones. Okay. Let's see. What time is it? 10:30. Okay. We're doing good on time. Yes, of course, you are correct here, I said. That is the idea I saw when I received the key word. I realized that I could starve the darkness with attrition. I just needed to use the power of focused will and move my attention. It's kind of like you were saying, John, I can cause my attention to sleep as far as the negative is concerned. So now that you see the principle, what will you do differently than before you saw it? Said John. Before I saw the principle, I tried to dwell on the positive, but I let the pain and distress consume my attention. Now that I see the principle, I may still feel pain, yet will force myself to not put attention on it. I will force my attention away from it until the negative force is starved to death through attrition. You've got it, he said. This is one of those subtle but important truths. There is a huge difference between putting all your attention on the positive during the good times and keeping it there during times of great distress. Joseph, I want you to teach this in a future book. It will help a lot of people if they can be helped to understand. This is one of those principles that enabled Jesus to maintain his poise, control, and faith even while on the cross. Wow. But not many people have an overwhelmingly spiritual problem to deal with, said Elizabeth. How would this apply to them? Most people have all the problems and distress they can handle, said John. Just as it can help Joseph, it can help them. Let's say that a person finds out his spouse is having an affair. He feels a tremendous sense of betrayal. To him, it may seem that the distress could not be worse. If he allows the emotional pain to consume his attention, he opens the door to a downward spiral that could ruin his life. The way out is for him to force his attention on the positive things of life while working through the pain. Let me stress again that the pain should not be suppressed or it will resurface. If the person allows the pain while forcing his attention on the good things of life, it will not be long before the pain is completely gone. You could say his attention will be sleeping in relation to it. After this, his life will be as good as or better than it was before. The pain from the betrayal then dies through attrition, and no suppression is necessary because there is nothing to suppress. Those who do not understand this principle will often carry painful experiences with them throughout the course of their entire lives. Interesting, I said, but there's one thing I do not understand. I paused a moment and added, you said that my attention fed the negative force, and I can understand this, but when it first struck, I only had my attention on the positive. Why was it able to strike me down with such power when it did not have my attention? After the attack, when I was in pain, it certainly had my attention, but not before. There are two reasons for this, he said. The first reason is that even though at the time of the attack you seemed to be focused on the positive, this has not always been the case. Your soul has been on a journey of many lifetimes. During many of these lifetimes, you were temporarily sidetracked into harmful and destructive paths. Like all other souls, you journeyed through valleys of depression, fear, and destruction. During this journey, through the negative toward the positive, you carried a residue of the negative with you from lifetime to lifetime. And during this long journey, the negative energy slowly accumulated until it developed a shadow form of its own. As this shadow body takes form around the evolving pilgrim, the body becomes occupied by lower elemental lives, which combine to create a lower reflection of the worst from your own consciousness. We've all heard of a higher self, said Elizabeth, but this sounds like a lower self. Excellent observation, said John. Yes, you have a lower and a higher self, but the lower parts of yourself are temporary, whereas your higher natures do not pass away. Every entity progressing through the great wheel reaches a point where he becomes dissatisfied with the lower nature and seeks to identify with the higher. When he is in the midst of successfully making this transition, the principle of attrition begins to threaten the life of this lower self. Now, I'm not speaking in symbolism here, but of a real lower life form which occupies an astral body the pilgrim has constructed over thousands of years. Would this entity be what is called the dweller on the threshold that I have read about? I asked. Yes, John nodded. This is the dweller. It is said to be on the threshold because when the seeker approaches the threshold of spirit identification, the principle of attrition drains life force from the dweller. All the fears from all past lives are stimulated together to create an overwhelming fear of extinction. This negative being then feels he must stop the seeker at the threshold of spirit, or he will die and live no more. Darkness cannot exist in light. When you make the transition over the threshold of spirit, there isn't a place for him, and he disintegrates. This is what rebirth is about. The lower self dies, and then you walk into your higher self. Does the dweller go into nothingness, never to exist again? Every life, great or small, good or bad, is an eternal part of the mind of God and cannot disintegrate into nothingness. Instead, it goes into the unknown for us, but known to God, to be reworked and sent forth again on a higher turn of the spiral. That which is now the dweller, seeking to preserve its negative life at any expense, will one day be born anew, where it can progress into the light and love of Father, Mother, God. I sat back in my chair taking this in. Then I stood up and started pacing, which I often do when I'm thinking. So are you saying that all this grief I have had has been from a life form that I myself have given birth to over millennia of wrong thinking? It feels to me that there is more than the dweller involved. Tell me the second reason you mentioned for the attack. You are somewhat familiar with the Dark Brothers, but many do not realize they leave most people alone. There are not that many people on this planet who are adepts. Most of what average people think of as the devil tempting or tormenting them is coincidence or their own imagination. As the entity advances, the dweller slowly comes into play and becomes his personal Satan, seeking to slow his spiritual progression, and then finally making a grandstand attempt at the threshold. The attention of the Dark Brothers only takes place when the disciple becomes a real threat to their plans. This is why we must be nothing. We must be everything and nothing at the same time. When this happens, they will use whatever means necessary to thwart the disciple. John took a deep breath, stood up facing me, and grabbed my arm. This is what happened to you. They saw you as a threat because of the mission I have given you. When you were approaching the threshold, they applied their own form of meditation and energized your dweller, seeking to give it enough strength to actually take your life. Their powerful thought form caused you to doubt yourself for an instant and withdraw from the angel of the presence, just as happened to me many years ago. They thought they had you at their mercy, but you did not yield your will and persevered. With the understanding of the key of attrition, you have now passed to the threshold of victory. So it must be true what they say, I mused. What does not kill you makes you stronger. We both sat down again. I guess you could say that, John smiled. When the time soon comes that you starve the dweller through attrition, then neither the dweller nor the Dark Brothers will have a base from which to directly attack you. After this, you need never fear them again, as long as you move ahead and not backwards. You said they will not be able to directly attack me. What about indirect attacks? Glad you're paying attention, he said. The brother of light can rise above direct attacks on him, but he cannot avoid indirect attacks. For instance, I can avoid attacks on me, but I could not stop one coming to you. If they would have succeeded, they would have gotten to me through you and to Christ through me. If the Dark Brotherhood continues to see the disciple as a threat, they will seek to destroy the mission through the manipulation of family and friends as well as enemies. How about Elizabeth? Do I need to worry about her? You will need to closely watch her and all others who approach your aura. You will be able to sense when they are affected by the Dark Brotherhood. Because of this experience, you now know their signature. What do you mean he will have to watch me? Asked Elizabeth, looking concerned. I've been through a lot and have held firm. I see no reason why you should doubt me. But you have not yet met your dweller, John said softly. Until you meet and master him, there is a danger, and you must be vigilant about keeping your mind centered in the light. So what do we do to prevent the Dark Brothers from using others to stop the mission? 3 things concerning those who have not chosen the dark path, said John. First, you do everything in your power to direct the person's attention away from the negative influence to the influence of the soul. Second, pray with them, if they are willing. Finally, say the song with them and encourage them to say it on their own if they are willing. Saying the song will also help neutralize those agents on the earth who seek to carry out the plans of the spiritual destruction. Right now, the song is new upon the physical plane, but when you teach it to many, where hundreds and then thousands and eventually millions will combine their strength in saying it, the spiritual power will increase, and the tide of the spirit will overwhelm material and selfish power. This will be a great aid in destroying the hold of the Dark Brotherhood, paving the way for peace on earth, goodwill to humankind. Yes. Yes. Awesome. I definitely got some downloads from that information. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, guys, that is class for the day. Whoop, whoop. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It is upon us, Teresa. It is upon us. What's going on, Teresa? Why is people saying I'm sorry? When I'm reading, I don't get your messages. I can't find. What's going on, Teresa? Oh, things are just crazy. Well, I send you love, light, and healing air. Yep. Oh, cool. There's a fire ceremony tonight. Yaya's having a fire ceremony tonight. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. I will definitely try to make that. Stairway to Heaven's playing. All right, guys. You want to go over to TikTok for a little bit? Let's go over to TikTok for a little bit and chit chat about what we might have learned today. About what we're going to do for our new year. What plans we have. Let us conspire. All right, we're heading over to TikTok in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go.